Welcome to the Festivus Maximus edition of The-Quill with Bradley White and I'm Cortland Kimball. We're going to talk about Festivus Maximus, the Ravens, the 49ers, what matters, and really the 49ers don't matter, but take it up, Bradley.
Hey, it's the big game. I mean, what can I say? You got the Ravens, good defense. Offense struggles a little bit at times. You know, sometimes Joe Flacco isn't always there. Got the 49ers, defense, also strong. Offense, with, switching out Alex Smith for Colin Kaepernick. Whole new offense, whole new scheme. I mean, they're hard to play against.
Well, I understand where you're coming from as far as like the 49ers being a little bit difficult to play, but you got to take into consideration what we have done, what we have built, the empire that we have built over many years, our strong defense that won Festivus Maximus 35 when we weren't supposed to talk about Festivus Maximus until we got there. And now we're here again with a strong defense and strong offense, although we have naysayers on the internet and in the media that say Joe Flacco and our offense can't pull it off. When we got rid of Cam Cameron, what happened? What happened?
They did turn it around.
The lights came on, the heavens opened, and we beat the heck out of everybody. So even though I understand, with the changes that they've made for the 49ers, the 49ers are insignificant to what we've created.
I understand your point, but I mean, going to the defense real quick and the legacy that you said they built up, with an aging defensive core with Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Ed Reed, I mean, they're all on the edge of retirement. Okay, say they do.
Not Suggs. Suggs is pretty new to
there,
defense, and we got Haloti. He just signed a contract Well, what was it, in the past year or two?
2 years ago.
And we still have a lot of up and comers that Ray has mentored to take his place once he leaves. I don't think our defense is going to completely crumble when the Spirit leaves. Ray passed the torch to Joe Flacco, but even still, we're going to maintain what we always had, and it's going to be better and better and better, and we're going to win more Festivus Maximuses because of that.
And you mentioned Joe Flacco as part of leading it through, but a lot of games, this season, last season, he's really struggled to play. The game against Houston, for instance, he threw 3 interceptions, a couple fumbles. They scored less than 10 points, and it's games like that it makes it hard to believe that Joe Flacco really truly be a leader. That he's not quite to the point where he can lead a team to many Festivus Maximus. We don't want to get sued. It's hard to think of him as being one of the leaders of the team.
Well, they did make adjustments to the offense. Now, Joe has a strong arm. Joe has an accurate arm, but it's not all Joe. Joe doesn't play all the positions on the offense. They did move Mike Ward to the right side, and that's made a heck of a difference. And of course, we have the weapon, of Torrey Smith. We have Ray Rice, one of the best running backs ever to play the game. I'm sure he's Hall of Fame material. He'll probably be almost as great as Ray Lewis. But when people talk about, oh well, Joe is inconsistent, Joe has been inconsistent because of the offensive coordinator, Cam Cameron. Cam Cameron said it was a great decision for him to get out, then obviously Joe's the man.
Okay, but don't you think a lot of it is also? I would say more of it would be his receivers than it would be Joe Flacco. I mean, just the past couple of playoff games alone, he's thrown a lot of passes that probably should have been either defended by a defensive player or intercepted, but the receiver made an amazing catch instead of giving the ball over to the other team. And I mean, there's usually 3 or 4 of those a game that he throws that he probably shouldn't throw it, but the receiver makes a great play, and so it works out. So, I mean, it kind of makes him look good, but I say that's more on the receivers than him. That the receivers.
Well, that's why they hired the great weapons to support him on the offensive line.
But if you had a better quarterback, you wouldn't need receivers to support him. You could have mediocre receivers.
Not necessarily. I mean, I tend to disagree. I think that the whole part of an offensive line, as with our defense, has to work together in order to come up with a W and to continue, as Joe Flacco has, as inconsistent as he is in the media, or as they say in the media. How many playoffs has he made? 5.
Every season.
Every single year. And if he wasn't a good quarterback, then we wouldn't have made it.
Okay. Well, going to Festus Maximus, how do you think the Ravens will be able to play against Colin Kaepernick?
He's insignificant. It's ordained. It's preordained in the Bible of Festus Maximus. When Ray Lewis ascends to heaven of the Hall of Fame, and Joe Flacco and the offense runs over Kaepernick, or what is his name, Copernic, or whatever his name is. As a matter of fact, his name is insignificant. It's like 12 letters. When we do that, no one's going to remember a Kaepernick or something like that. They're just going to remember Joe Flacco, Ray Lewis, who is, linebacker god. And they're going to remember Festus Maximus forever.
So you say Colin Kaepernick is insignificant. I mean, the plays he runs with Frank Gore, a run threat. Colin Kaepernick, a run threat. Teams are starting to, with mobile quarterbacks, like the 49ers, are starting to move to this read option play where, the quarterback makes the decision while the play is happening. And a lot of what he does is he does it in pistol formation where there's no pitch man, no one he can pitch it off to. Defenses aren't used to seeing this kind of play. And it's been working really well for them throughout the playoffs. The Ravens have played well through the playoffs too. But, I mean, you can't discount the 49ers the way they've played in the playoffs, especially with how Kaepernick has been able to throw and run against these defenses. Some of the best defenses in the NFL.
But you say some of the best defenses, and we have the best defense in the NFL. That's standing. Also, Ray Lewis, legendary Ray Lewis. I have to keep on going back to him. He consistently watches films of offensive lines and contributes to the defensive coordination of how they're going to stop the run.
Yes.
So, and a lot of other defenses on other NFL teams aren't that committed. This guy is passionate, and thing is, he brings the passion. That's fine. Gore and Kaepernick, they can do their runs whatsoever. Gore and Kaepernick can run like X-Lax. But Ray, he's going to stop it.
He's getting old. He's not 100%. He was injured for several games of the season. He's still wearing a brace. Do you really think he's going to have that? I mean, yes, he does have motivation and brings passion to the team. But do you really think him, Ray Lewis himself will bring that much ability to the table for this game?
Well, Ray Lewis, this is his last ride. This is the last time he's going to play an NFL game.
Maybe.
So do you think that he's going to let pain stop him?
Say they don't win. Do you really think Ray Lewis is going to want to go out on that loss? Do you really think Ray Lewis will leave at that point? Or do you think he'll come back, but he'll still have something to prove? But they lost, so what's the point at that point?
Honestly, after Festus Maximus is won and he ascends to heaven, he's gonna walk off and leave the field. If they're in some parallel universe, our Ravens do not do the job, Ray's still going to ascend to heaven. And then it'll be Joe's chance to bring us back to life.
It's definitely going to be a close game. I truly think it's going to be really close.
It's going to be so close that we're going to probably be at least two touchdowns ahead of them. That's how close it's going to be. It's going to be so close. It's going to be so close that the 49ers are going to be crying. They're going to be close and huddled together, crying and holding hands, and wishing that they never, ever win an NFC championship again and had to face the Baltimore Ravens.
I don't think it's going to be like that. So, what is your thought for the final score?
Final score 52 for Ray Lewis. Just like I said, I'll give him, like a little room to 21.
I really agree with your 21, but I'm thinking more of 24 for the Ravens. I'm trying to be a little more realistic than 52 here.
52. There's 52 weeks in a year. This is the Ravens' year. This is Ray Lewis's year. You have Joe Flacco, number 5. You have Ed Reed, number 20, 5-2. It's ordaining.
So when the Ravens lose, you're going to cry. Am I getting this right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have this ringing in my ear that you said something. It was like a buzz or something. What did you say?
Exactly what I said. So, as we know, Cortland thinks that every other team is insignificant. If we remember back this past season, the Ravens finished 10-6. Let's consider 6 not so insignificant teams: the Eagles, the Texans, the Steelers, the Redskins, the Broncos, and the Bengals. Those 6 teams all beat the Ravens. If it was truly meant to be, why would the Ravens have lost these 6 games to several teams that they probably should have beat, such as the Eagles, such as the Steelers, such as the Redskins, such as the Bengals? Admittedly, yes, they beat the Broncos in the playoffs, but that doesn't really matter now, does it? So I changed my thought. I did originally say Baltimore 24, the 49ers 21. I'm going to switch those scores because I would really like to see Cortland be wrong.
Carroll County community, you just witnessed a few minutes of the most blasphemous comments made by my co-host. When the Sabbath day of Vestimus Maximus comes, I want you to pray for Bradley. I want you to pray for him when Ray Lewis, like I said, ascends into the heavens of football greatness. And on the 3rd day, when Joe Flacco rolls the football away, revealing the angels of Torrey Smith and Ray Rice right next to him, releasing the legacy of our future defense. Pray for Bradley, the unbeliever, that one day he will understand that the Ravens rock and every other team is insignificant.